how do you turn this thing on? I have no idea at all. There's no like manual on it, no instructions, no nothing. So I don't know what this is. I'm gonna head over to my chair and open this. Okay. I have no idea what this is, so why don't we just open it up and see what this is. It's a stick. It's a plastic stick. There's a piece of paper in here. This is the remote? You know what? It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Why don't we just try it? On! It worked! Okay, well, I guess that's one way of turning on your monitor. Well, it doesn't matter because I gotta make a video now. So, why don't I begin? Hi. Today, I'm going to be playing some more Security Breach, because apparently I haven't played that game in over a year. So, why don't I just play it? It's going to be real quick, real easy. Shouldn't take too long, right? Right? It'll be fine. Alrighty, so apparently it's been such a long time to the point where I completely forgot what I'm trying to do. So why don't I just read the missions tab on my little Freddy watch thing. Alrighty, well, I have to go into Chica's green room, which is this room right here, and get the party pass that is in this little box thing. And now what I have to do next is use that party pass on either Monty Golf or Phaser Blast. I use Monty Golf because I didn't really know what I was doing, so I was just wandering around until something happened. And now that I'm in Monty Golf, I have to find the Phaz camera or whatever it was called. And Freddy said that is in the security office, so why don't we go in there, take the security badge, and then leave. I didn't know what I was doing. So then after a while of wandering around, I took a break for about a year. And then 1 year later, I pick up where I last left off. And I don't know what I'm doing. Apparently it's a bad thing if you stop playing a game for a year and then replay the game, because the game, you don't know what you're trying to do. You don't know what you're trying to do. You're just wandering around this pizzaplex trying to figure out what you're trying to do. But then after a while, I wander back into the security office, open up that little crank box thing, and I get the camera. So I know that's pretty easy. And with the camera, you're able to stun animatronics via taking photos of them, and, you know, it works out pretty well. Except for Monty. His sunglasses are way too radical for our camera flash to do anything to him. And now let's see what the missions tab says to do next. Use the party pass on Phaser Blast. So let's go do that. I don't have a party pass. And I don't know where one is. So I spent about 3 hours looking for this party pass. And I never found it. Because it didn't exist. That's right, this party pass just doesn't exist. If Freddy gave you an option between Phaser Blast or Monty Golf, I picked Monty Golf, so I cannot go into Phaser Blast anymore. I wish the game told me that. So then after I figured that out, I just moved on to whatever I had to do next. And then what I had to do next is figure out how to decommission Monty. I wish the game told me how to do this though. Well, it kinda does. Kinda. So how do we figure out how to decommission Monty? Well, we go back to that same security guard's office that we found the camera in. And on the floor of the security office is a duffel bag. And inside the duffel bag is a note that says, Monty is usually on the catwalks above Monty Golf. The only way to get to Monty Golf is via going to Mazer Size. But for Mazer Size, it requires an item. So we have to find this item. And guess where this item can possibly be hidden? That's right, back at that security guard's office. So back in the security guard's office, in like the darkest corner of the security guard's office, is another crank box thing. And inside the box, you'll find a Mazer Size ticket. Then use that ticket on the robot in front of Mazer Size, and he'll throw some confetti at you and run away. Now that you're able to go into Mazer Size, you go into the maze, and Freddy says there is a control panel around here somewhere. I thought he was talking about the maze, so I was wandering around for a little bit too long. I accidentally went into this door, and there it is. But apparently the key to turn this machine on is in the daycare's, like, basement, pretty much. So now we have to go all the way to the daycare, which is pretty much on the opposite side of the building. And then in the daycare area, we go to the daycare theater. And then in the daycare theater, we go behind the main theater area, down some stairs, where we will find our another little crank box to get the key thing. Grab the key and then get out. But while you're leaving, these endos wake up and start attacking you. Either you can just run or be smart and look at them, or just use Freddy. Let's be honest, using Freddy might be the easiest technique ever. So now you have to go all the way back to Mazer Size and then use the key. And here's the most confusing part, the Mazer Size machine. This machine had me confused for way too long. And even when I did figure out the puzzle, I still had no idea how this machine worked. My first technique was just to spam the buttons. Spam the buttons until something happened. But then after 30 minutes of spamming buttons, I gave up. So then what I did was I actually pushed the buttons and see what they were doing on the screen. And I accidentally got it to open up. Yay! I still have no idea how this machine works, but you know what? It's open. So now the vent is open and you go through it, and that will lead you straight to the catwalks above Monty Golf. And then you have to use this little pew-pew gun thing to shoot the Monty heads and then activate the roller coaster thing. And then you jump down onto the catwalks, and Monty comes out breaking the rules, aka jumping off the roller coaster. That is dangerous. And he shows off his radical sunglasses, and now you have to fight him. And when I mean fight him, I mean go to those gun things and go pew-pew to the giant bucket thing. As soon as the little indicator fills all the way up, then you're able to push the button. And then pushing the button will make the bucket fall, and Monty tries to stop it because, you know, he thinks he's a beast. The catwalks break, and then Monty falls. That's gonna be a lot of money on my side to repair all those fixes. I just cut a robot in half. So now that we slice Monty in half, now we just have to take his claws. And then he disappears. And then you realize you have no idea how to get out of this little stage area. And then you realize the fog was covering the vent to leave. So that was great. So now that you have Monty's claws, you gotta go over to a parts and service to upgrade a Freddy. And after playing a nice little game of Simon Says, Freddy has new claws. And these claws allow you to break through fences that you weren't able to get through earlier. And now we're going to figure out how to rip out Roxy's eyeballs. I think I just got put on a list. So using Monty's claws, you're able to break open the fence to get to Roxy Raceway. And then inside Roxy Raceway, you'll find this container thing that has a robot that will jump out and spoop ya. Boom. And then you just take the head, and boom, you have a head. But sadly, the head is a broken head. so we gotta fix it. And where would be a good place to fix a head? Most people might say parts and service, but no, you go to the West Arcade, because an arcade place has a fixie heady machiney thingy. But you can't just enter the West Arcade, that'd be too easy. You need a dance pass, which can be found in one of those little crank boxes things again. But now that you have the dance pass, you're able to go into the West Arcade. And then here you'll go up and then way over to this room area. And then apparently the West Arcade did not get shut down properly, so you have to go over to the DJ's booth to flick that switch. And then you flick that switch and you turn around and the DJ is gone. Oh no, this is gonna be terrible, I know it already. Alright, so there are 3 switches you need to flick on to get the place back up and working. The first one is in the bathroom. I don't know why it's in the bathroom, but it is. Then once you flick that one on, then DJ MM, aka DJ Music Man, will be outside like trying to grab you with his giant hands. You can just run out through the other door. And the second one is on the second floor, just on the wall. The other one is on the first floor, just on the wall. And after that, you need to flick another switch. There's a lot of switches, okay? But this switch is on the very end of this ginormous back area hallway. And then you flick that switch on, and the big giant spider DJ MM comes just chasing after you. He just comes chasing after you. The music is going insane, and you just survive. You make it out alive, of course, because that'd be a way to end the game. And then after that, you're able to put the head in the heady, makey, fixy, uppy machiney, or whatever I called it, and you'll have a fixed head afterwards. All that work just to get a head. And then with the repaired head, you're able to go back to Roxy's Raceway and use it on this go-kart robot assistant thing. And then you hop into the go-kart, and then you start driving around the racetrack like, and then Roxy thinks it's a good idea to, jump in front of you while you're going however fast and you don't have brakes. I think you can kind of see what's going to happen here. So you don't die, you swerve out of the way and jump out of the go-kart, and the go-kart starts spinning out of control and whacks Roxy right in the eyeballs. Like, honestly, this was perfectly planned. Like, I wanted this to happen on purpose. I knew this was going to happen. Exactly. I knew this was going to happen. It's just, obvious. It was obvious. So then you take Roxy's eyeballs, and you gotta leave via pushing this button. But now Roxy can't see, but she can hear. So now you have to be a little sneaky goose going through this back area of Roxy Raceway. Sitting in front of doorways that are covered up with wooden planks for some odd reason will make Roxy jump right through them. And then you just gotta do that a couple more times, and then for some odd reason this room's on fire. I don't know why, but either way you just, run around the fire, open up the vent, and then go through the vent, and then it's done. You're done. And now you go into parts and service and upgrade Freddy. So now you play another nice game of Simon Says, and Freddy has new eyeballs. He can see stuff through the walls. That's insane. That's crazy. And now it is 6 a.m. and we can finally leave. Yes! So we book it to the main entrance, and we get there, and then we're like, all right, come on, Freddy, let's go. And then Freddy's like, well, I can't go because, I'm a robot and I will die because, I need to be charged. So Freddy is like, hey, you want to stay or do you want to leave? And I want to suffer, so I said, let's stay. Yay. And I only have one save station, which is right here, right outside the elevators. So now you have to do the rest of the game with only one save station. So now your next mission is to decommission Chica. So using the party pass, you're able to go into Phaser Blast, which is a pretty fun minigame. There are 3 flags in the general area, and you have to push this button to start a timer and you have to defend that flag. Using your phaser blaster, you're able to pew pew the little robots that are coming to get that flag, and they will explode. I do not want to know what laser that phaser blast kid's toy is shooting out. What I do know is it does a fantastic job on these robots, and as soon as you get all 3 flags, then you're able to leave. And then in here, you'll be able to pick up the golden phaser blaster, which you're able to keep and use to defend yourself from the animatronics. And then you go into the security office where you'll find another security badge, and then this time I remembered to look at everything in that security office. So there was a Bonnie Bowl annual pass in the little box thing again, so at least I looked this time. So using the Bonnie Bowl pass, you're able to go into, you guessed it, Bonnie Bowl. And inside Bonnie Bowl, you're able to get Monty's Mystery Mix. The mystery is the pizza flavoring. That's, mystery for 5.5 seconds until you taste the pizza, so it's Monty's Mystery-ish Mix. And then using the Monty Mystery Mix, you have to go into the kitchen in the very basement of the building and then put into this giant trash compactor. And then you have to flick this little generator on to start up the trash compactor. And then you push the button to actually activate the trash compactor while Chica is in it. But then this little metal pole thing gets in the way, and you just give Chica a little push. You give the ginormous 5-ton robot a push. She falls over, knocking the metal bar thing over, and it's pretty easy. But somehow Chica was able to survive that first crush and attacks you, but then gets crushed again. And then you get dragged off into the, I don't know, I think it's like the basement of the building. They don't know how many basements this building needs, but it has a lot of basements. That's what I'm saying. They're a fan of their basements. And then you take Chica's voice box and you get out of there. And then you find yourself in this creepy underground part of the Pizzaplex, normal stuff. But then there's a gate that's in your way, and there's a wire going into this weird area, and you just have to flick that switch. Don't worry about that head. That's a perfectly fine head, okay? There's nothing to be worried about that head. Just don't worry about it. Got it? Good. And then once you flick the generator on, you're able to push the button to open up the gate. And then there's another gate in your way. So you just do the same thing. You go into this area. Don't get killed by Chica. That is now like a mumbled mess of voice-ish stuff. And then you flick the generator on, go back, push the button, and now you don't have to do it anymore. Instead, you have to go through this area with these spooky staff guards that can actually kill you. And you flick one more generator to open up this gate, and then you just walk on through. I don't know why Vanny was there, but you know what? It's fine. And then you're back in the kitchen area, so you just go take the elevator up, and then you go into the parts and service. Play Simon Says, upgrade Freddy, and you're good to go. And now you might be saying, why did I need to do this? Why do I need Chica's beak? Well, it's for this one little area that requires Chica's beak and Monty's claws. This gate requires Monty's claws to slash open, and this gate requires Chica's voice to scream at. To open it, of course. And then there's this one elevator that takes us down, and it's a one-trip only elevator. So you know. And then you're in this underground area where you'll find the pizza place. The original Five Nights at Freddy's pizza place from Five Nights at Freddy's 1. Because that's obviously going to be in the underneath the Pizzaplex, because, you know, they obviously wanted to build the Pizzaplex on top of the original building, because that just makes sense. How did this place get down here? And then you encounter a couple more of your friends, the generator, and you flick them on to open up the main doors. And then you go down into the basement of the pizza place that's in the basement of the Pizzaplex. There's a lot of... This is getting confusing. My brain hurts. And then you find the big blob thing, and you stand on this wooden plank that breaks down. And then you find yourself in this room that has 2 doors, a vent, and 3 monitors. Also, apparently William's spirit animatronic is in the building as well, because, that just may as well happen at this point. And you have to defend yourself from the animatronics. Chica's pretty easy. You just stand at the door. Chica comes running at you. You just push the button, and Chica stands there, kind of bangs on the door a little bit, and then gives up. Monty goes to the vents, and you just have to close the vent door. Monty will go like, rah, 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 and then mumble away. And then there's Roxy. I could not figure out how Roxy worked at all. Even when I did finish this minigame, I still didn't know how Roxy actually was supposed to work. I had to bug the game out to actually complete this minigame. And apparently you just had to hide in Freddy and then use Chica's voice to get Roxy out of there. But I didn't know that because the game did not tell me I had to do that. So I just hid in the corner in this bed, and Roxy just kinda, I don't know, had a little fit that I was in an area that she couldn't get me. And then William is pretty easy. You just wait until he starts messing with Freddy's brain or something. And then you just find what monitor he's on and then push the button for the flamethrower floors to activate. Because why not? Why not? This kid-friendly pizza place can just have a basement with flamethrower floors in it. I'm trying to say, this doesn't make any sense at all. But you know what? I don't really care. So, no, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So what I had to do was whenever William started to mess with Freddy's head, I had to just book it to the monitor, push the button, and then book it back to the bed. And then just do that a couple more times until I finally completed the minigame. Yay! That took me like an hour of doing this. And then you sit in a field watching the sunset, and this is, it's definitely a way to end the game. Doesn't really make any sense because we had like all that Vanny stuff and all that stuff, but it's fine. We don't need to worry about all that stuff. We can just end the game off with all these new characters that we're going to be talking about. But it's the end of the game. I don't have to play this game anymore. I'm done. I'm done. You're telling me that there's 5 more endings to this game? 5 more endings? Apparently I'm not done. I have to get the rest of the endings. But for the rest of these endings, I'm just going to Google them because I have no idea how to get the rest of these endings. So let's see what the endings even are, shall we? Okay, so there are 6 endings overall. There are 3 escape endings, 2 Vanny endings, and then 1 true ending, which is the one that I just got. So we can check that off the list because I don't actually, need to do it anymore because I just did it. And why don't we try the 3 escape endings first? Alrighty, why don't we do the entrance escape ending, which doesn't actually make any sense, the entrance escape ending, but it's pretty much where you just go to the entrance and you say, yep, I want to leave. And then you'll get a nice little comic and then roll credits. It's as simple as that. The next ending is the loading docks ending, where you just go down to the loading docks and you just leave. Again, it's pretty simple. And then you get a nice little comic saying how you took a van that, I don't know where you got that van, and Freddy needs to be recharged, and you just use the van battery to charge up Freddy, and you're pretty good. You're pretty good. And then the third and final ending is the prize counter ending, aka the fire escape ending, which is oddly really hard to get. So why don't we go into detail on how to actually get this ending. So what you need is 6 golden plushies scattered around the Pizzaplex. And then once you've gotten all 5 of them, the 6th one is going to be the hardest one to get. What you have to do is you have to take photos of these cardboard cutouts for some odd reason. I don't know how you would figure this out, but we figured this out somehow via just taking photos of just everything pretty much. The eyes will glow, and once you've taken photos of all 4 of them, then this poster in the daycare theater will become a door. And then you go into Sun/Moon's little hideout area where you'll find the last and final plush. And then once you've got all those, you're able to go to the fire escape and leave. And leave. Once you got all 6 of those, you go to the fire escape and you leave. Okay, why is it not working? Okay, well it says here you need 29 regular collectibles. 20, that's a weird number, but you know what? Let's go collect 29 collectibles. And now that we have 29 collectibles, we can leave. We can leave. We can, Jesus Christ, it's just not working. Well, now this video is saying I need 60 collectibles. So why don't I get 60 collectibles and then leave? And then leave. Oh my God. What I had to do was get 70 collectibles. I don't know why it was 70, but I had to get 70 collectibles. And then I was finally able to actually leave. Yes. And in this comic you say, come on, Freddy, let's get out of here. And then Freddy's like, hold on, I gotta end this. Flicks out his little finger lighter and then just burns it all down. He just burns the whole place down. It all just catches on fire in about 30 seconds. It's insane. So of course we're running because there's a fire and we have to use the fire escape, which takes us to the roof. I don't know how fire escapes work because, I've never used one, but shouldn't they take you, down to the floor so you can leave? Why are they taking you to the roof? Is that how fire escapes work? I don't really know. But anyways, once you're on the roof, then Vanny grabs you and I have you now. And then Freddy's like, I can see you with my new eyeballs. Super threatening, I know. And then Vanny's like, oh no, please don't hurt me. And then Freddy just pushes Vanny off the building. And then they both just fall to their doom. And then Gregory runs down and unmasks Vanny. Who is Vanessa? You know what, it's fine. I guess it makes a little bit of sense. They're kind of teasing this. And then you watch the credits roll and you feel pretty satisfied with this ending. But then they show Vanessa on the roof, alive. What? That doesn't make any sense at all. Were they twins? I just don't know because this doesn't make any sense. But you know what? I'm just going to say, sure, good job with that one, buds. And that is all the escape endings done. Why don't we move on to the 2 Vanny endings? Let's talk about the more simple one, the bad ending, which we're gonna have to replay the whole entire game from the very beginning again. Yay! But because I already know what I'm doing, it only took me about 4 hours of playing and not 31 hours of playing. That's what happens when you have no idea what you're doing. And the reason why I'm restarting the whole entire game from the very beginning is because I have to change a decision I made a long time ago, aka the very beginning of the episode. Remember that decision you had where you had to go into Monty Golf or Phaser Blast? Apparently you have to decide to go into Phaser Blast, because that's how you get to the ending. Once you've beaten the minigame, you'll go into the prize counter room. And then in that room is not just the shiny pew-pew gun, but it's also a vent. Uh-oh. And then once you've gone through that vent, you'll have to go through another vent. But once you've gone through that vent, you'll see Vanny's hideout. And you can tell it's Vanny's hideout because Vanny decided to spray her own name on the wall with spray paint. Because, that's how villains just make sure they know that this is their hideout and not someone else's hideout. And now that you've gone through there, you'll go to the very end where Freddy is like, do you want to leave or stay? And now you have a new decision. Yay! And then you're able to go after Vanny. So why don't we go? And then this nice little cutscene plays where Freddy is about to start punching some robots. And then for some odd reason, Freddy's like, I'll let the robots punch me instead and tear me to shreds. So now you're left on your own to defeat Vanny. You have to run through the backstage area of Phaser Blast to get to this catwalk above Phaser Blast, and you'll be able to go into Vanny's room. And what you have to do is push that little button right on the desk. Just push the button. Push it. Thank you. And then this plays another comic where it shows you commanding all the robots to tear apart Vanny, which is, all dark in its own ways, but we're not going to worry about those ways, okay? Don't worry about it. And then we run down, and then Freddy is all torn to shreds and, dead, pretty much. So, it's sad. Boo-hoo. But we need to win this fight. We're not going into this fight and losing. We need to go into this fight and win. And how we do that is via restarting the game all over again. Jesus Christ. So now, once you restarted the game all over again, you have to go back into Phaser Blast and then re-find Vanny's hideout. Alrighty, I'm totally now recording this part of the video on a completely different day. I promise. Trust me, please. Alrighty, after finding Vanny's hideout, we can now move on to the good ending. How to get the good ending is via playing these Princess Quest arcade games. There are 3 arcade games in the series, I guess. Apparently, Princess Quest was originally found in the mobile version of Help Wanted, which is a really interesting thing. And now we have to play the arcade cabinet version of the mobile game. Alrighty, I'm not going to go into too much detail about the Princess Quest arcade cabinets, but what I am going to say is where they are and what they kinda are about. So, the first arcade cabinet is in the barber shop of Roxy Raceway's other part, not like the main race part, but the tinier part right next to the main race part. I don't really know what this part is called, but it's a part. And then you'll find the Princess Quest in the back room of the salon place. And then you see a weird purple monster thing, and then the game crashes, pretty much. And that is one arcade cabinet down. The next arcade cabinet... The next arcade cabinet can be found in the really long hallway of the West Arcade area. I don't know why it's back here, but it is. But this time you get a light sword and you're able to attack opponents. And it's named a light sword, not anything else. Trust me. And then at the end of this arcade cabinet, you'll find yourself in the original, quote-unquote, because it doesn't look the exact same, but the original security office in Five Nights at Freddy's 1. And now that you have both of the arcade cabinets done, you're able to go to 6 a.m. and then go to the third arcade cabinet, which is now playable. Which should be playable, but I guess the game says no. Okay, let's restart the game again. Alrighty, now that you're back at the first arcade cabinet, now you're able to play. Ooh, a tree! Wait, why is there a tree there? Doesn't say anything about a tree. No, it's fine. We'll just move along and not worry about the tree. Okay, we can't leave now. You know what? It's fine. Why don't we just restart? This was painful for me. I wonder if I should take a break. Never take a break. If you take a break, you have to live the rest of your life knowing that you let the game beat you. Are you sure I shouldn't take a break? Because I'm pretty sure I should take a break. I feel like it's not good for the body to be playing this game for 40 hours straight. What do you mean? Of course it's good for the body. It's good to be staring at a screen for 40 hours straight. My eyes are already hurting a little bit though. I think I should take a break.
What have I been telling you? Never take a break.
But it doesn't even feel like I'm making any progress.
Of course we're making progress. Look we are already at the first arcade machine.
Do you think the tree will actually be gone?
That tree will 100% be gone. That tree is terrified of me.
Well, I guess there's only one way to find out.
The tree's still there!
Okay, I'm 100% going to be taking a break now.
No, you're not taking a break. We're going to be starting this game from the very beginning and get back to that arcade machine.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I should just play the game from the very beginning.
That's more like it. And we're already back at that arcade machine.
Oh, wow, that was fast.
Now play the arcade machine and that tree will be gone and we will beat this game.
Okay, let's see.
Why is the tree still there? Losing my mind. I've tried everything. I've tried hours and hours and hours of different things, and the tree is not leaving. Why is the tree here? How did the tree get here? How am I supposed to get rid of the tree?
I don't know, but I feel like if we just turn around, all of our answers will be right there. Oh, it's Wiimod. Let's just close that. Alrighty, now let's see if the tree's gone.
The tree's gone! Yes!
Oof. Oh, what was that? My head hurt. Ugh. Well, look at that. We got to the third arcade cabinet, and we can play it now. Oh, Jesus Christ. And then at the beginning of this arcade cabinet, you find yourself at the end of the last arcade cabinet. And at the end of this arcade cabinet, you'll open up this door thing that is maybe the same one from Help Wanted. I'm not fully sure, but that's what online says. You open it and you hear a scream, and then the game crashes. And then you get this little comic. And this comic, the arcade cabinet broke itself. And the robots have turned off or something. It's very confusing, and Vanny is just like a mask now. Vanny disappeared and will never be seen again. That makes sense. And then we leave this place with Freddy's head in our bag, and the internet says that that's Vanessa, so I'm just going to take the internet's word with that one. And we finally watch the credits roll one last time. Oh boy, I can't tell you how excited I am about this. And then at the end of the credits, we're eating ice cream with Vanessa and Freddy watching the sunset. That's Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. So overall, it was a pretty good game. I'm not going to say it was the worst game in the world because, oh boy, it's not. Why do I keep on dropping that? But it also wasn't really Five Nights at Freddy's-esque. You can probably replace every single Freddy thing in the game, and no one would be able to tell that this was originally a Five Nights at Freddy's game. But as a game, it's pretty fun. And now I'm able to sit back and relax, knowing that I don't have to play this game ever again. What do you mean? Apparently, Steel Wool released this little teaser for the upcoming DLC for the game. And that says this year. We haven't heard any news of the DLC, but as far as I know, it's going to be free, coming out this year, and yeah. I guess oh, that's just really hot water.